Hi, this is Susan with Start Stampin' Up Art. I've been doing these cards with little watercolor backgrounds where I use the Stampin' Right markers, the water-based markers, and lay color right down on an acrylic block. You do want a pretty clean acrylic block, and then mist it and transfer the color to cardstock. The Heavyweight Whisper White or the shimmer paper seems to work the best. And someone, Julie, reached out to me asking me if we could use it directly with the pads. So I'm gonna just do a couple of them and show that you can do the technique with just the Stampin' pads. You probably, if you're just using the pads, you probably want to limit your colors to just 2 or 3 different colors. And then I kind of played just real quick with using the pads and using the markers. So if you have more colors available to you, if you use both, we'll do that. And then ultimately, I think I want to do some card fronts with this goat in the new Way to Goat, and have it subtly look like the goat is on top of a mountaintop, like, you know, on a pinnacle. So we'll play with that just real quick. And I also want to let folks know, if you don't already have the new catalog, it went live just recently. What was the date? June 3rd. I do have a few catalogs. If you haven't got one yet and you'd like me to send one to you, just send me a message. I'll get that out to you. Some real goodies in here. But we will move on to playing with these things. So I thought it would be kind of interesting to do the foreground. I'm going to do a vertical card. To do the foreground, what would look like a mountain in the new cinnamon cider. And then the bumblebee is kind of an earthy yellow. I thought that'd be kind of nice, like sunrise, sunset, that warm yellow that you get at those times of day. And then probably go back through after I've stamped the goat and color him in with the blends. So because I'm thinking all this through, when I do stamp the stamp, I'm going to use Memento, and then that will let me use the blends to follow up. But first and foremost, we are going to apply color with the stamps. So these are brand new. I haven't even put my little color tags on yet. But the new stamp pads, one side of the pad comes really close to the side of the packaging, if you want to call it that. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do, let me think about this, I'm going to flip it so I want the pinnacle to be more here. But I think I'm going to take advantage of the fact that, you know, I can use this corner and kind of make that look like a cliff. Now when I spray it, it's going to move. But I'm just going to lay that color down. And I kind of like that I've got some skips. There, you might be able to see it a little better. With this idea that, again, this is going to be flipped over, but that the goat will be sitting on top of the pinnacle. It's my concept. Might move this up a little, just a little more color there. And you know, if you don't like something, you can clean it off. And again, this technique is kind of loosey-goosey, so and of course, if I wanted to do something like I've done cards in the past where it looks more like a sunrise, sunset, or beach scene, just using the full side of the pad and cover it is going to work really well. I just, as I play, I get a little more fancy. So I want that nice sunset glow. And again, I probably want a little more color so that I can see where I did it. Probably want a little more color here, but this might actually look a little bit like sun rays coming in. And I don't want the goat to be yellow, so I'm just going to remove a little color where the goat would be. I'm way overthinking this compared to what you need to do, but it was my little plan. So once I've got the color on there, I could, if you're using a combination of the pads and the ink pads and the Stampin' Write markers, I could add a little blue maybe in the background. I was thinking it might be kind of cute to put a little, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Put a little green here behind my mountains. Now, always work, when you do these techniques, always work light to dark. So I might be contaminating this a little bit, and that's where you can see I was playing. Just, you know, run that over a little bit so you get any of that yellow off the green. I haven't gotten used to this color yet. Bumblebee. So yeah, Bumblebee and Cinnamon Cider are what I just put on the block. And a little bit of, I believe, Mossy Meadow. The other in colors, how beautiful is that? Magenta Madness, Just Jade, which I do not yet have the Stampin' Write markers in the new in colors, or I would have used that because they look really great together. And then Misty Moonlight. But once we get the color on the acrylic block, I'm gonna go off screen to spray this just so I don't get water everywhere. But the Stampin' Up misters are awesome because they travel super well and they're pretty fine. So, always fun to take those along. I use them for my watercolors as well. So, okay, and then the only real trick, like I've got this pretty wet, you don't want to linger as you bring it over. I might have a little more water than I need, but it'll just blend nicer, more. So as I bring it over, I'm going to be kind of quick here, but then I can, once I've got it horizontal again, I can kind of decide how I want to place it on the paper. So over, and then I hope you can see this on screen. I'll try to keep my head out of the shot. I'm wearing a ball cap, I forgot about that. And then look how it absorbs the water. I love watching that. And then I just let it rest until it looks like it's pretty much done moving and it's absorbed. Oh, cool. See, I thought I had too much water and I actually had a little too little. This didn't transfer because I got to talking. So I can put water back on that and get that to transfer. And move that, kind of line it up. And then transfer a little more color. Fun, fun, fun. There's, again, I was talking, so that's why there's a little color left. Usually it almost looks clean, like you don't even need to wipe it off. So there's that, and then as I was saying, and I think that's gonna look kind of cool, like the rocky cliffside and, you know, sun rays coming in. But, oh, I really hope my ball cap didn't just ruin the whole video. But then I'll stamp this in the Memento, which will let me then color in probably a deeper brown or a little bit of gray in using the Stampin' Blends. So there's one. Now, just for the fun of it, let me get another. This is, again, this is the Thick Whisper White. The you can see it's not bowing too much or anything, even with me adding water and adding water again. The regular White Whisper White will bow a little bit, and you know, you can set, I tend to dry these by setting one of these nice big acrylic blocks on them so they dry nice and flat. But the Thick Whisper White, the shimmer paper, will hold up to this much better than the regular Whisper White. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens when Just Jade and Misty Moonlight mix together. Oh, brand new, look at that. So I think I'm just gonna, again, I'm using the side that's closest to the edge. And I'm just gonna pull that across. Ooh, that's gonna be pretty. Then, because they're kind of about the same color saturation, there isn't one a whole lot lighter than the other. I'm just gonna be a little bit cautious not to contaminate my, is it Just Jade? Just Jade. With the Misty Moonlight. So, and that would be kind of your caution. I'm just kind of looking through the side here and getting, you can see I'm being a little bit cautious, but that'll be okay because the water will move it a little bit. So I think that's really pretty. And again, I'm gonna just mist this where I'm not getting water all over everything. I'll be right back. Ooh. Since the last one seemed like I didn't have enough water, I went a little more bold with the water. Again, I'm gonna flip it and then see how I like it. There, doesn't that look so cool when it moves? I just think that looks so cool as it dries and absorbs in. Ta-da! Nice, that'll be really pretty. I made a nice set of cards with the beautiful moments. Like this one or this one would look really nice. And you can, if you stamp with Memento, you can add color afterwards. I think they look really nice actually. Even if you don't add color, a good man, these would look really nice on that as well. And here's the other ones I've been using. Silhouette scenes. Get those really nice, dark. You know, actually this would be kind of cute. Like they're looking up at something, or maybe add a embellishment star or something. And Seaside Notions. Those are the ones I've been using with this technique, but goodness, you know, artistically Asian, there's all sorts of stuff that would look nice. So that's that. That's the technique using just stamp pads or mixing the stamp pads and the Stampin' Write markers. So yeah, have fun. Get in touch with me if you have any questions. My June hostess code is here if you don't already have a demonstrator and you want to order any of these goodies through online. I would be jazzed for that, and answer any questions if you had any, and as well as let me know if you don't have a catalog and you want me to send a catalog out. Just message me through the Facebook group Start Stampin' Up Art. Thanks, I hope you guys are having fun. So I couldn't help myself and I had to finish these cards, and I thought you'd like to see how cute they turned out. Let me look. This is the one I did on the video with the pads and the cinnamon cider and bumblebee, and then I used the mossy meadow marker. And I think the hits and skips and everything actually work really well. And then I put just a little bit of this baker's twine, I want to say it's mossy meadow, around, and you're the greatest of all time on the inside. So I thought that was cute. And then this card, I kind of I used a little bit different method where I stamped the goat on Post-it, cut the Post-it out, stamped the goat here, and then put the Post-it over to protect it from the water. And you can see how just that little, I mean, Post-its are so thin, but just that little bit of depth of the paper kept the water from, and the color from going really close to him. But and it's a one and done, because when you put the color on the acrylic block, mist the block, and put it over, enough of the ink and water transfer onto the Post-it, you don't get more than one go on each Post-it. So if you don't like fussy cutting, that might not be your favorite, but I think it looks pretty cool. And then I took some blends and gave him a little bit of highlight color. The original stamp was with StazOn, so that it would not, the black stamp on the paper wouldn't move. And I put that on shimmer paper. I don't know if you can see that. But then on the inside, I had to use this cute little goat on the inside as well. And all those come from the Way to Goat stamp set. And then I thought, whoever gets this, when they see the envelope, will know this is a fun thing. This is not a bill. So just kind of cute and fun. Thought you might want to see how those finished up. Yeah, take care, have fun, and get in touch with me if you have any questions. Thanks.